Hi guys! Today we are going to listen stories about animals again. And this time I'm going to tell you something about the camel. The camel. In some parts of the world there are large deserts. There are no trees and no water there. Travelers must take food and water with them. The only animal who can walk through the desert is the camel. He can go without food and water for a long time, and besides, he can carry heavy loads. People call the camel the sheep of the desert. The camel is very big. He has one or two humps on his back, short ears and long tail. The camel's humps hold fat, and his stomach holds water in 12 deep pockets. Each pocket has a mouth which closes, and the food does not mix with the water. When the camel wants some water, he can get it out of the pockets. The camel's food is grass and branches of trees. The horse carries the man. The cow gives him milk, and the sheep gives him wool. But to the people of the desert, the camel is the horse, the cow, and the sheep, all in one. He gives them milk. They eat his flesh, and his hair gives them wool for clothes. Now a story about the camels again. Kara, the camel. Once upon a time, some Arabs with their camels went across the desert. In the evening, the Arabs stopped. They wanted to rest. The camels were tired too, and they lay down near the tents. Some baby camels were among them. Kara was one of the baby camels. Another baby was Camel. But she was only 2 days old, and Kara was a week old. He had a thin body, long legs, and a funny little tail. The baby camels were kind to each other and played together. Soon, Kara and Camel became great friends. The Arabs had their rest for some days. Each camel drank as much water as its 4 stomachs could hold. And the humps of all the camels became large and fat. When the caravan started on its way across the desert again, Kara and Camel had no loads and were quite happy. But on the second day, there suddenly came a deep silence in the sky, and the sky grew red. In a moment, the Arabs and the animals threw themselves on the sand. They knew that the simum was near. The camels laid their necks on the sand, closed their nostrils, and did not move. Kara's mother often told him to close his nostrils during a simum, and now he lay down and closed his little nostrils. When he heard the cries of the Arabs, he stood up and looked round. All was still. There was no more wind. The camels were already on their feet. At last, the caravan started again, but soon it stopped. One of the camels was crying. It was Camel's mother. Camel was lying on the sand. She did not she didn't know what to do, how to close her nostrils during the simum, and the hot sand killed the poor little animal. One of the Arabs tried to lead the mother away, but she could not leave her baby in the desert and died near Little Camel. The death of Camel was a heavy blow to Kara. They were such great friends. Soon the caravan came to a place where there were many men and women. Kara looked round in surprise. He was afraid of this new place. Suddenly, a strange man came up to him, threw a rope round his neck, and led him away. From that day, Kara never saw his mother again, but he had much food, a good place where he could rest, and soon he was quite happy. Some years passed and Kara became a big camel. He had a strong body, good legs, and a large hump. His master loved Kara more than the other camels.